Even though life is already difficult enough, there are several daily routines that you can engage in without even understanding how much harder they are. These behaviors have the potential to seriously damage your mental and emotional health and make life a never-ending struggle. Being self-sufficient and independent is what it means to be a Sigma, but these traits can also leave you feeling depleted and confined. These are the 7 anti-Sigma behaviors that you should give up right now so that you don't ruin your life. Number 1 is stop comparing yourself with others. It's quite difficult to use social media without comparing oneself to other people. Your home isn't Pottery Barn enough, your clothes aren't stylish enough, and your physique isn't fantastic enough. You might even start to feel inadequate as a result of it. Actually, there's a scientific explanation for our propensity to judge ourselves against others. Comparing ourselves to others helps our brain determine how we stack up against them. Comparing ourselves to others is one of the most basic ways we develop an understanding of who we are, what we're good at, and what we're not so good at, according to organizational behavior expert Thomas Musweiler. Most of the time, we are unaware that this computation is being done in the background in a split second. But it can easily turn toxic if we focus only on the positive aspects of other people's lives. Although it's in our nature to connect and feel like we belong, comparing ourselves to others all the time jeopardizes our happiness, self-esteem, and mental well-being. Seeing those you are envious of as comrades rather than enemies might be beneficial. You can miss out on the benefits of those successful people if you stay away from those who make you compare yourself to others. Consider the lessons you can take away from them. Ask them for advice when you can come up to them. Rather than becoming envious, take inspiration from their accomplishments. Which individuals that you find most inspiring and who are changing the world are. Seek inspiration from them to help you improve as a person. Number 2 is negative self-talk. Everybody harbors an inner critic. This inner voice can occasionally be useful and inspire us to go toward our objectives. For example, it can alert us when something we're about to consume is unhealthy or when something we're about to do might not be a good idea. But this voice is frequently more detrimental than beneficial, especially when it crosses the line into extreme negativity. This is referred to as negative self-talk, and it has the power to depress us greatly. Most of us occasionally engage in negative self-talk, which can take many different forms. If we're not careful, it also causes a great deal of stress for others around us as well as for ourselves. To start putting an end to your self-criticism, learn to identify when you are doing it. Take note, for instance, of the things you say to yourself that you wouldn't say to a child or a close friend. If you catch yourself talking badly to yourself, you can limit the harm that a critical inner voice can do by letting it critique specific aspects of your life or allowing it to be negative for just 1 hour each day. This limits the amount of negativity that can be derived from the circumstance. Number 3 is seeking outside validation. We frequently lack confidence in ourselves when we look for approval from others. We lack self-assurance in our identities, actions, and emotions. Therefore, we seek validation from others to ensure that our words, ideas, emotions, and identity are genuine. Humans are driven by a need for affirmation and approval from others. Desiring to be seen, heard, and appreciated by others is a normal human need. But this demand for outside validation has increased to an unprecedented degree in recent years. It's simple to feel lost and unimportant in a sea of voices due to the rise of social media and the continuous flow of information and viewpoints available online. This never-ending search for approval can be draining and ultimately disappointing. When we look for outside validation, we are depending on other people to confirm our value and our sense of worth. When someone likes or appreciates us on social media, it can give us a brief boost in confidence, but it never really fills the vacuum inside. Number 4 is playing the victim card. How many of us have placed the blame for damaging a family artifact on our younger brother or sister? How many of us have accused a coworker of making a mistake at the office? Many of us have unknowingly played the victim without even realizing it. Regretfully, no one ever really gets what they want when they play the victim. In addition, those who feel like victims frequently distance themselves from friends, family, and workplace. This may be a shadow conduct in which the victim does not express their helplessness in the open. Instead, in an attempt to obtain what they require, the victim will resort to coercion, manipulation, and deception. You might have encountered someone who is feeling helpless like this. When playing the victim, the typical character is someone who is nervous, suspicious of people, and always wants to be aware of the newest rumors. Don't join in on the game with them as an outsider. Avoid interacting with their stories of insecurity, listening to their stories of manipulation, or playing the game of gossip. Number 5 is blaming external circumstances. Your mind will search for proof to support your desired beliefs if you search for explanations for why you are incapable of doing anything. Why do you want to believe external forces are preventing you from achieving some outcome or goal? Is the question you should be asking yourself. It can be difficult to accept the answer even though it's accurate. You search for outside causes to absolve yourself of responsibility when you don't succeed in anything, or worse, as an excuse to give up. Your mind goes to great lengths to preserve your ego, no matter how harmful its tactics may be to your achievement as a whole. If you allow it to, it will release you from accountability. There are things outside of your control. You couldn't possibly be at fault since there's nothing you can do about those variables, can you? Number 6 is avoiding discomfort. Consider the main issues in your life, such as procrastination, poor diet, anxiety, and irregular exercise. The fear of discomfort is the root cause of almost all of these issues. The sensation of being uncomfortable is the same as being in severe pain when you're not in your comfort zone. For many people, eating veggies, for example, causes discomfort. Thus does meditating, exercising, saying no to people, or sitting before a challenging assignment. Of course, various things make different people uncomfortable, but you get the idea. And discomfort is disliked by most people. People flee from it. Why do it when it's not enjoyable? The issue is that when you constantly flee from difficulty, you're confined to a narrow comfort zone and end up missing out on the majority of life. Actually, the majority of the best things in life. Your life will have almost no boundaries if you can master discomfort. There's no greater ability to acquire. Number 7 is surrounding yourself with toxic people. Everyone needs care from time to time. It's reasonable to expect our loved ones to assist us, whether we're going through a difficult moment or simply just use some companionship. The problem is, toxic people elevate things to a completely new plane. People who are toxic need ongoing care. Furthermore, they frequently don't give a damn about the kind of attention they receive, as long as they occupy the forefront of everyone's attention. People who are toxic enjoy controlling others. Sometimes they deceive individuals into giving them money for their own material advantage. At other instances, it can be to get more of their attention or to manage the actions of those in their immediate vicinity to prevent them from developing strong bonds with people who could draw them away from the toxic person. Any shape that manipulation takes, it's not acceptable at all. Attempts to control you and your emotions for their own benefit, whether they come from friends, a romantic partner, or members of your family, are also a dead giveaway of a toxic individual who needs to be removed from your life. Everybody needs someone to support them occasionally. Our friends, our romantic partners, and our family should play that role. Not though if they're poisonous. Individuals that exhibit toxic behavior are in a state of perpetual competition with everyone around them, including those closest to them. They won't ever be pleased with your accomplishment because of this. Rather, everything you accomplish serves as a reminder of their own inadequacies. Are you a Sigma male? What is your take on these anti-Sigma male habits? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye!